The second weekend of Disney Marvel's Avengers: Infinity War is heading for $115 million at 4,474 North American sites, while the opening of Overboard will take in about $13 million, early estimates showed Friday. Should the forecasts hold, Avengers: Infinity War will follow up its record-breaking debut with the second-highest domestic second weekend of all time, behind only Star Wars: The Force Awakens at $149.2 million. Black Panther currently has the second-highest total at $111.7 million, followed by Jurassic World at $106.5 million. Avengers: Infinity War was pegged in the most recent domestic estimates to take in between $25 million and $32 million on Friday, its eighth day in theaters, and between $105 million and $125 million for the weekend. That will give the superhero mashup around $450 million in its first 10 days in North America. Infinity War had the biggest domestic and global launches ever last weekend. In North America, it opened with $258.2 million, while internationally, it secured $382.7 million for a worldwide tally of $640.9 million. Avengers: Infinity War is set to join the billion-dollar club globally in record time on Friday or Saturday, its 10th and 11th day of release, respectively. Star Wars: The Force Awakens reached that mark in 12 days. Overboard, MGM and Lionsgate Pantaleon's reboot of the 1987 comedy, is performing in the high end of expectations after forecasts in the $10 million to $13 million range. The film was heading for a solid $4.3 million on Friday, including $675,000 from Thursday night previews, for an estimate in the $13 million to $15 million range at 1,623 sites. Overboard is a gender-swapped remake of the Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell's romantic comedy, in which Hawn played a spoiled heiress and Russell portrayed a blue-collar laborer. The new film reverses the roles, with Eugenio Derbez as a rich playboy who becomes amnesiac and Anna Faris as a working mother who convinces him that she's his wife. Rob Greenberg directed from a screenplay he wrote with Bob Fisher and Leslie Dixon. Derbez's comedy, How to Be a Latin Lover, opened in April 2017 to $12.2 million on its way to a $32 million total. Paramount's fifth weekend of John Krasinski's hit horror thriller, A Quiet Place, was heading for third place with about $8 million at 3,565 venues to lift its 31-day total to about $160 million. STX's third weekend of Amy Schumer comedy, I Feel Pretty, looks likely to follow in fourth with about $5 million at 3,440 sites for a total of about $38 million by the end of the weekend. Focus features launch of drama, Tully, starring Charlize Theron as a put-upon mother of three who bonds with her new night nanny, was performing in line with estimates of about $4 million from 1,353 locations. Critical response has been enthusiastic, with a current 89% score on Rotten Tomatoes. Tully, New Line's fourth weekend of Dwayne Johnson's Rampage, and Disney Marvel's 11th weekend of Black Panther, will probably contend for fifth place this weekend. Rampage should wind up the weekend with about $85 million in its first 24 days, while Black Panther will wind up the frame with about $695 million in 77 days, the third highest domestic gross of all time after Star Wars: The Force Awakens and Avatar. Electric Entertainment's opening of Bad Samaritan appeared to be in line with forecasts of around $2 million at 1,930 locations. Dean Devlin directed the horror film from a script by Brandon Boyce. The thriller, starring David Tennant, Robert Sheehan, and Kerry Condon, follows a poor restaurant valet, Sheehan, who burglarizes the houses of the clientele he services.